Okay, let's start a reading vlog. So I started reading The Ashes and the Star-Crossed King. Like, I put a hold on it immediately, and I got the skip the line loaned, or you can have for like 7 days. So yeah, I'm like 30% of the way through, or like 33. I'm like a third of the way done already. And like, man, I definitely kind of forgot some of the finer details of what happened at the end of the first one already, but like it's coming back. It was coming back, and when it comes back, I'm like, I'm still just like, I remember gasping at the end of that one. I was like, oh, shit. Sometimes, sometimes having a busted memory is fun, actually. So that happened, and so um yeah, so I'm like a third of the way through that, but there's some crazy shit going on in this book. It's crazy. Like, I mean, vampires in this world are just crazy, and they don't stop being crazy. The Kajari is done from the first one, but like we're finding out so much more stuff. Like, Araya is learning so much stuff about even herself in this one. Like, all the aftermath of everything that was kind of accumulating in the first. We that was the fuck around phase. This is the find out phase, and I'm still liking it. So yeah, I'm into it. And we're gonna keep going with that. And then we'll see. Cause I also started an arc where the dreams something about some dreams. Hold up. I kind of have a feeling this book has already been out, and this is just like what do they call it? A traditional release. But I have started reading this. Where Dreams Fall. Okay, yeah, because it's very much so far, I'm not that far in it, but so far it has a lot to do with dreams, because there's humans in this world, like it's a totally fantasy world, but there's humans and there's like elves, I think, except the elves like get energy or something, or like basically like feed off of your dreams or nightmares. So there's like a group that gives you dreams, and so where she lives, they're only supposed to get the dreams, because then there's like a different group that feeds off of nightmares, and they're in a different region, and so they're not supposed to get nightmares. It's only supposed to be those unfortunate people that are supposed to basically go mad from the nightmares, which is crazy work in the first place. Like, y'all condemned those people to go insane, basically. So that's intense. It's a very intense setup so far. But we're gonna see what happens, because it's definitely like high fantasy. Because yeah, even though there's humans, it's like it's kind of like old. It's very magical. It's very magical, like the way that it's set up, and then like but then at the same time, like that old timey feel of like people are making bows and arrows and shit, and it's not like manufactured, so it's not like you got that like high fantasy world feel. So that's like historical. So there's that. And I haven't gone that far in that yet, but yeah, it's feeling very intense, and it's like less than 300 pages, I think, but it's just, you can tell it's intense. It's intense because our girl also is basically watching her parents like struggle for money, which I feel like that's what always happens in these kind of books. Like, they're always poor. They're always poor. So they're poor, and they're trying to like make ends meet. But her parents are like the helpful ones in the area. They're helping everybody out, real good. And they're not forcing her to get married, but she also like feels the pressure of getting married, because they have the marriage price. Like, you get married and then the family like pays for you, the woman. It's weird. I mean, I know they used to do that back in the old times, but it's very weird. You're paying the family to like basically own the girl. It's when they get married. Anyway, I'm glad we don't do that shit no more. But that's basically the setup so far. So we're gonna see where it goes from there, because basically it starts with our girl having a nightmare, and she's not supposed to be having those. So I'm very intrigued to see what's gonna happen. And they're also never supposed to see the elves, and just like basically rules are being broken immediately, and I need to know what's going on now. gonna go to the library and turn in these books, and I have a couple books on hold I'm gonna pick up. And what the hell? Anyways. Okay, so update for the vlog. I finished reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King yesterday. And, like, I liked this one, but not as much as the first book. So this one, I didn't give it as high rating, I think, but it's, like, I think it's a very, like, logical conclusion to this duet. Because now, you know, there's a lot of, you know, having to deal with, like, hurt feelings and, you know, processing stuff and finding out, like, Araya is finding out a lot about herself and about Vincent and about basically everything because she was so sheltered and didn't really know much in the first book. And then you come to the second book and, now she has to find out everything. So this was a lot of, like, finding out about even herself and her family and just everything that was going on. And so it's still interesting, just in, like, a less action-packed way, in more in a, like, oh, okay type of way. I guess. Like, she had to find out her family drama, basically. So that was that. And I liked it, and I'm going to continue on with the series, but that did conclude the duet. So that was her and Rain, and then I think the duets go through the different houses. So, yeah, it goes. Yeah, so the next one's supposed to start a different couple and, like, a different story arc, basically. So it's like 2 books per arc. So I would pick that one up from the library, and so that one hopefully is going to be like my first read for March. So we'll see where we go from here, but that's the plan so far. Okay, so we went to the bookstore. I traded in some books that I had lying around and then used credits, or, like, got credits for it because that store doesn't give you money back like Half Price does, which is why I like Half Price, but we don't have that here. But we bought some books because, you know, when you're in a bookstore, of course I'm gonna come back with new ones. So anyways, my aunt found, like, this greeting card, which is super cute. It's a little puzzle. So you know, that's what she wanted me to show y'all because it's adorable. I mean, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a greeting card like this, but that's really cute. So, you know, there's a little thing right there. That's what she got. And then and she got, like, a puzzle book too. But then I found some fun stuff. Let me start with the non-book item. I got this Powerpuff Girls magnet. Just because, you know, I like, they always have, like, little stuff like this at the checkout, and I get suckered every time, but I love the Powerpuff Girls, so had to do that. And then, I got quite a few books, because you know how I roll. So, I got this Women of Myth book. This is, like, the only nonfiction book I got, but I don't know, I like knowing about mythologies from the rest of the world, because, you know, we already kind of get taught Greek mythology a little bit, and but not really anybody else's, so I just think it's interesting to see, like, what everybody else in the world's doing. And so I picked this up because I think it's interesting. It's just a subject that interests me. You know, and then it informs a lot of stuff because I feel like people pick up a lot from mythologies in order to write, like, fantasy books, because then you already have something kind of, like, to loosely base stuff off of. So anyways, that's the thought. So then I found these. They did not have a huge section for, like, fantasy, where, like, the fantasy and sci-fi section here is not huge, but I still found a lot. So, you know, not huge, but it is mighty. So I got this Blackheart. I think I've heard of this before, but you know, it's definitely there's something about, like, a witch lord and stuff, so this is definitely seems like a fantasy romance, you know, if I had to guess. But so we got that. And then, I also got, like, this book was just too pretty to leave behind. Also, you know, just look at this. Her Soul for a Crown. This is so pretty. Like, this art is so pretty. And then the edges too, like, hell yeah. And it just sounds like it'll be interesting. Let's see. A rising queen, a fallen god, two worlds collide to change the course of destiny forever. If this don't sound like my kind of shit. So, yeah. It just really sounded like my kind of thing, so we're gonna see. And then, I picked this up because this is a book that I've been wanting to read too. This Vicious Dream. I didn't expect this to be so little. It's a little size. It's cute, but this is definitely a fantasy romance. It's by Stasia Stark. Or Stacia Stark. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say that name. But I know she's like a really popular fantasy romance author right now. So let's see. Once I helped save a kingdom, now I'm trapped in a prison of thorns and nightmares. So yeah. I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm pretty sure that this is a series. I don't think it's supposed to be a standalone, but we'll find out. And then this one is definitely a part of a series. So this is The Beast Lord by Juliet Cross. And I don't know what number it is in that series. Oh, it says book 2. With book 2, it delves back into her dark fey world with book 2 in the Rise of Northgall. Yeah. So I have the first one, which I think is the Wraith King. Something about that. But anyway, so I think this is the second one. So I was like, yes. Because it's just so pretty. How can you deny it? How can you deny it? And then the edges are also kind of done, which is interesting. Unexpected. Let's see. And then I have Wicked Onyx, which I've been eyeing this. I think it's supposed to be like a dark fantasy romance. You don't graduate Knightsbridge Academy, you survive it. Yeah, so it's like a dark academy. A dark academia type thing. But is it fantasy? I think it is fantasy too. It's like, yeah, it says paranormal romance. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I've been eyeing this to like read it because I do like those academy settings. And then like look at these edges. And when I was being rung up, they told me like, oh, let me know after you read that. Yeah, because everybody want to know. Everybody want to know about the goods. And then I also looked in the manga section, and this was just so pretty. The merman trapped in my lake. Like, this is just so dang pretty, and it's my aesthetic, and I like mermaid stuff, so that was really all the appeal that I needed. It says love off the deep end, and it's gonna be a romance. Sign me up. So, I'm just like, it's so pretty, and it's in full color. It's in full color. And then the last one I got was Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. The second one because I've already read all of this, but Sailor Mercury is very pretty. She is my favorite. Sailor Scout, if you didn't know. But there you go. Sailor Mercury. And so I think, yes, that is the bottom of the bag. Though that's everything that I got this time. So yeah, I'm really excited for these. It's a good little stack we got. Okay, so let's do a reading update while we're here. Almost forgot. Where did my bookmark go? Well, I don't know where my bookmark went for this, but I was 130 pages into this. And so far, I'm really liking it. Like, this one is set in Brazil. This one's set in Brazil. And it starts with them, like, already having history. So she had already met Famine. And then, she decided to act differently than everybody else around her. And then that, like, endeared her to him. But I feel like in this one, like, all of them, they kind of, like, obviously, since the horsemen are there to hurt humanity and to kill people, that the love interests obviously don't like them at first because they're like, oh, you're just gonna hurt me and all this stuff, right? But yeah, like this one I think so far might have like the most intense personal hatred out of like all the books that I've read so far. I mean, this is only the third one, but compared to the first two, I think this one has like more pure hatred in it. And so it's pretty good. Like I'm not even like we're not even to the part where like she's like warming up to him really. So far it's like they're still kind of like looking at each other sideways and stuff. So I'm still really liking it. It's really intense. It's pretty dark. Like it's the apocalypse. So not a fun time to be alive. But then I also started God of Pain. And in this one, like, so this is like your dark romance or whatever. And so this one is Creighton and Annika. And just like, so far she's growing on me because I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to like her. Because from the first book, I could tell she was like a chatterbox person that doesn't shut the hell up. And sometimes those types can be very annoying to me. So I was kind of worried that she was going to be talking too much and be very annoying. But it turns out the girl has a little bit more common sense, which I'm glad about, because like how can you be in a mafia family and then not understand to like take care of your own safety? I mean, everything about her family is concerned about her safety, you know what I mean? Because they know they're doing shady stuff. They know they have enemies that do shady stuff, and so there's a lot of concern for her in this. Let me see. Yeah, I'm like not even 100 pages in, but I'm liking it more than I thought it was going to so far, just because she's not crazy or insufferable in a way I thought that she was going to be. So that's good so far. And then Creighton is also like, I guess, a little bit more different than maybe he was portrayed in the first one. I mean, obviously they're all going to be crazy in their own specific ways, but like his is more like trauma specifically. Like, boy just really needs the like hardcore trauma therapy, I think. Because he has bad issues from the past. Like, I don't know exactly, but he's like also trying to find out stuff about his real parents, because it sounds like he's adopted. It sounds like he's adopted or something. I don't know, but basically he doesn't even really know his background, and so we're kind of going through it with him, and so I'm intrigued. It's interesting. And so, like, that's where I'm at. Like, I'm not even 100 pages in, but I'm just like, okay, let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. But we are getting to the point where he's coming around on her, because, she was, like, Annika was trying really hard to get with him, and, but she didn't really know what she was getting into, and now that she's kind of, like, cooling off and is like, now he's like, no, hold up. So... So, the bait and switch is working on him. I mean, that wasn't her intention, but it is. It is. So, I think that's funny, kind of. But, we're gonna see where that goes. Okay, so... I finished, Vows and Ruins this morning. I finished this, and, why was half this book smut? I swear half this book was smut. Like, I feel like I almost like didn't even notice the plot, because every other chapter felt like smut, and I was just like, I kind of zoned out a little bit in those sections, because at some point you just like kind of stop caring, but then like the plot of course popped off at the very end again, and I'm like, we're just gonna keep doing this, huh? Just gonna keep doing that kind of shit where it gets interesting at the very end. And so I'm giving this a 3, which apparently I also give the first one a 3, even though, like, honestly I think I like the first book more, but the end of this popped off and now I want to keep going. This keeps happening. So like, this is not the best series I've ever read, but like, it's also like, I feel like just easy to get through. So I mean, I guess, but I'm glad I didn't like buy the other ones. But I think I'm gonna list these then. So, and and sell these, and the prints are in here too. Just like, I think I'm just gonna sell this because I don't need. I don't see myself like rereading this series, but like I know some people love this shit, but I don't know. Like, I think the next book it has to have more plot, I would think, because of how this one ended. The next one has to at least have more plot, at least in the beginning. So yeah, I don't know. Like the actual plot is starting to heat up, and it only took two whole ass books because we had to get through the like setup, which was honestly a little bit more interesting than this, and then we had to get through the smut part where they were like in denial, and now I feel like the next one has to be plot. So we're gonna see, but so far, I don't know. So far, it's like not the best ever, but like I'm still invested. So I'm just gonna keep going because like I mean, I don't. I'm invested enough to keep going, basically. So I think that's just what's gonna be. That's what that is. So that's that. What an interesting read that was. I know way too much weird shit now. These characters. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna shift gears, but I think I'm gonna end the vlog here so that this can go up. But yeah, that's that. That's where that ended. And I'll have to finish the other books I started in the next one, because yeah, I don't know. It's just been an interesting time. Anyways, what have y'all been reading? Let me know. I'll catch y'all next time.